Hello, hello! This is Ramos. We are here at Weslaco, Texas, checking out this gorgeous new construction home. It is not for sale. It was fully custom built for a client and built just the way they wanted it. They designed the exterior, chose the brick, chose the window frames, chose the design for the roof, and so forth. Regardless, this is the home that I would love to showcase to you guys and perhaps shed a little bit of light into a custom home building. Now, it's not the same process as buying a house that's currently in the market because that usually takes 30 days. But custom home building, it's dependent on you guys and of course dependent on weather as well. Anywhere between 8 months to a year. And what makes a huge difference in that is the square footage of the home. Of course, if you build a giant mansion, it's gonna take a while. If you build a normal sized home, probably 3-4 months, maybe a little bit longer if there's any weather delays. But actually, I forgot to close this up. So that way we don't let all the air escape. Let's go ahead and close this up real quick. And sorry about that slight delay, you guys, but this is the main area. This would be the living room. You've got your wooden beams and your stucco finished mantel with beautiful fireplace. Now this is stucco. It kind of reminds me of New Mexico with this like adobe-like structure in the interior and the exterior, but I love the design here. Absolutely stunning. And tall ceilings all throughout. It's a very nice home. This was built to the client's wants and needs. Again, it was a custom built home. They did require a construction loan, at least for this specific home. The reason why is because they built on their own lot. Typically, if you build on a lot you already own, one, you may not have to account for the lot price anymore. At that point, it's just like, well, who do I find to build the home alone on my lot? And so at that point, you would just need to account for the house price alone. But the way that custom builds typically work is they work with price per square foot and not living total. So builders around my area are charging anywhere between $98 a square foot to, well, basically it just goes up from there. I've seen as low as $98 a square foot. And you times that to the total square footage that you want. And if you'll see right here, this is a stucco design for the range hood, but of course they have not yet installed the range hood itself, but that will be installed eventually. You got your quartz countertops, beautiful cabinets, by the way, and I love the fixtures, but that's what makes custom home building unique. You select everything from the fixtures to how the cabinets open and close. It's a soft close, as you can see. So small little details like that are important for some people. You want to have some autonomy in designing the home the way you want. Custom home building will be the route that you need to pursue. Here they have a kitchen island, and so you can see it's a soft close as well. And so with custom home building, it is a process. You know, of course, you got to go through your standard process of getting pre-approved with a normal lender, but the lender is actually going to end up preparing the paperwork for a bank or anyone who can process the construction loan. So for example, in our area, there's Lone Star National Bank, the Bank of South Texas, and so forth. These banks are typically going to be processing the construction loans. Beautiful accent wall, by the way. Look at that. It's beautiful. I love the curvature. Reminds me of like a Mediterranean home. And this is the foyer, by the way. I don't think I got to give you guys a brief introduction of it, but it's a beautiful entryway. And then of course, now we're back here, but this time we're looking at it from the perspective of the 18-foot sliding doors being closed. But over here is going to be the butler's pantry. And so we've got two major banks down here. Now, of course, there's a lot of other banks as well. But ultimately, whatever the builder quotes you to build your home on your lot, if you don't already own, if you do already own it, is what the bank needs to qualify you for. Now, bear in mind, your standard approval with a normal lender is almost always going to be higher than your construction loan. Why? Because construction loans tend to be higher in interest rates. And so why are they higher? It's more than likely because the bank needs to get paid somehow. So while your property is under construction, let's say that you already own the lot, and we'll run both instances in which you do and don't. But let's say that you already own your lot. You do not need to use the funds from your construction loan to purchase the lot. But if you don't already own your lot, you will have to use the funds of the construction loan to purchase the lot. And as you'll see right there, that's where all the water is going to go down. You get a little sitting area to the left, along with a privacy glass. And so whenever you're purchasing items, and we'll go ahead and close this off to make it a lot more nicer for you guys. So whenever the builder is contracting somebody, let's say for the foundation, the builder needs to pull out, let's just give an example, $30,000, to trench up the lot, pour dirt, or do what they need to do to pour the foundation from point A to point B. Point A being an empty lot, and point B being the foundation being done. And it costs X, Y, and Z amount of money, and let's just assume $30,000. I don't know the exact numbers, but let's just make that assumption. Of those $30,000, you're going to be charged an interest. So you're not going to be paying the full amount because the bank's sending the money over to the builder to make these transactions and ultimately build your house phase by phase. First phase being the foundation, of course. Unless you don't own the lot, then it would be buying the lot. Beautiful mirror, by the way. I didn't even notice this the first time around, but gorgeous light fixture. All around gorgeous. Love the accent paint. It's like a dark olive green. I don't know, but beautiful. And tall ceilings all throughout, by the way. And so the first phase, right? You get through the first phase, you pay your interest, and it just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. So after phase one, let's just assume that, you pour your foundation or you purchase your lot. Then you would move on to the next phase. And let's just assume that the next phase is, $20,000 for another $20,000 for X, Y, and Z. So that money gets added into the initial $30K you used on the first phase, and you pay the interest on those items collected. And so as you progress further and further into the construction of the home, it gets higher and higher. The amount that you're paying on each time that the builder is pulling out money. Now, some builders actually have a lot of capital. They'll make it easier for clients and basically say, hey, you know what? I can fund 50% of what needs to be pulled out from the bank. And so you guys don't need to worry about paying, extra on your interest. And so some builders are able to do that and end up saving clients money, or they time it in such a way that instead of pulling out, let's say 10 times during the construction loan process, they just pull out, money from the bank 3 to 4 times. And so that is just different ways that builders work. I've heard and seen this before. But of course, talk with the builder, see what they can do for you construction loan wise, especially with today's, interest rates. Builders do want to custom build, at least those that are specializing in custom home building. And they'll do what they can to help a client in any way, shape, or form. But regardless, that is today's age of construction loans and custom home building. Now, there are some builders that do offer building without the need of a construction loan, but they would just require for a higher down payment. So for example, some builders just ask, hey, you know what? Take on the construction loan and your earnest money deposit is just $5,000 and that's it. But some other builders are gonna say, hey, you know, we'll take on your construction loan, but we require that you make your full 5% down or whichever loan that you're qualified for, and the down payment that's reflected in your approval is what they will require as your earnest money deposit. But of course, you always want to do your due diligence with every builder and make sure that they're legitimate and that they just don't walk away with your money. Some builders do that. Thankfully, this builder that we're currently observing, they don't do that. But this is a pocket door, kind of hard to pull it out, but I'm sure they're gonna add like a little mechanism to pull it out and make it easier. Now, a little note about this particular room is that this is all stucco. It's nice. You do not see this. I don't know why, but something about this stucco finish in the interior looks clean, nice, and beautiful. Again, it reminds me of like New Mexico, beautiful state. And now we're gonna go check out the laundry room and the garage. Actually, we already checked the laundry room, but just in case, you know, some of y'all missed it, we're gonna check it out, the mud room and the closet. And so here it is, and beautiful flooring, by the way. Stunning. But check this out. In this garage, they asked, hey, can we vault our ceilings? And they did. So of course, it's a bit messy. They just finished construction and they're cleaning up, of course. Beautiful. So I hope that you guys learned a thing or two about construction loans. And I know that they can be kind of complicated. I've got a few clients who are custom home building, and it comes with its complications. I think the number one thing that sets back the construction of a home on a custom build is not the client, not the builder, but the bank. They will ask for hundreds of documents. We may have to explore different banks to get you the true final approval that, you know, the client wants and or needs. And then some banks just qualify clients for less, and then other banks qualify clients for more. So it's always important to just kind of explore. But custom home building is a process, and that's what I notify all of my clients about. When you are custom home building, you gotta be ready to understand the process and take it step by step. What I love about this is that it has cabinets on both sides. Ooh, we'll go ahead and close this up. And by the way, we're gonna have an open house here on the 29th of June. So that'll be, well, I'm recording this on Monday, so that'll be this weekend. But nonetheless, there will be a lender, myself, and the builders on site to talk about the step-by-step process. If you guys are potentially interested, please come by. I'll do my absolute best to explain everything, but I know that we'll have a lender on site and he'll probably do a better job at explaining the process. But I would love to showcase my favorite part of this house. This is a gorgeous coffee bar. You guys, I love this. And also the fixtures, you know, beautiful handles. And then lastly, that. I mean, everything's, my favorite parts are like all here. Coffee bar, your mantle, and it's stucco finish. Absolutely stunning, you guys. And I'm sorry if I went off on a tangent on construction loans, but it's a very different process from your standard buying process. It is very unique. And again, I'm gonna emphasize this. It is a process. But if you are ready for custom home building, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll try to break down the process as best as possible. I've worked with clients from out of state. We'll do Zoom calls, whatever needs to be done to address any inquiries. And we'll do our very best to get back to you as soon as possible. And Lord willing, Lord willing, get you started on a custom home build. But nonetheless, you guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. And thank you guys so much. I would not be in this position without y'all. So y'all stay safe, and I will see you on the next one.